Greetings and welcome to another edition of Political Empire. I'm your host, Kim Pearsall with the Press Enterprise and PE.com. We are getting that much closer to the election, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about a city councilman in San Jacinto who was censured, and then we're going to talk about the recent appearance by former President Bill Clinton in the area. But first, Steve Memmo. Dilemma. The San Jacinto City Council has censured one of their own, Steve Memmo, for what they think may be wrongdoing regarding his connection to a Chula Vista attorney who represented both him and an applicant who applied to the City Council for a smoke shop license. They also censored him for not having a city business license for his contracting business and for allowing friends to live in a pool house he owns that isn't habitable. Censures carry no enforcement provision on their own, but it will be forwarded to the city's Code Enforcement Office, County DA, and the Fair Political Practices Commission. And now on to former President Bill Clinton's interesting appearance in the region, Southern California. He is backing local congressional candidates in the 11th hour of the campaign season, including Raul Ruiz in the 36th Congressional District, running against Bono Mack, and Mark Takano in the new 41st Congressional District, who is challenging John Tavaglione. Clinton rallied on behalf of both in Irvine on Tuesday, and here to tell us more about it is reporter Jeff Horseman. Jeff, you were there for the get-go, for filing in with the rest of the media, for getting ready before former President Clinton got there. I was following your tweets. I enjoyed the musical commentary about what music was playing. But tell us, what was it like? What was the feeling like before Clinton got there and then when Clinton did get there?
I guess the best way I could describe it is it was kind of like a big tent revival for Democrats. These are people who believe in the cause, who believe in the Democratic Party and in getting Democrats elected. And so it was a chance for them to get kind of fired up for the election. And there was all sorts, as you referenced, upbeat tunes. Your Love Keeps Lifting Me Higher by Jackie Wilson. Don't Stop Believing by Journey, I think, were a couple of numbers. And the crescendo came, Takano and Ruiz spoke along with some of these other congressional candidates, but the big moment came when Bill Clinton took the stage. He went up the steps, and there was a huge roar, and he held up the hands of all the candidates he was endorsing, including Takano and Ruiz. And so, there's a lot of energy and, I think a lot of excitement on the part of Democrats.
Nice. Now, what does it do for a candidate to get a former president's endorsement in this circumstance?
Well, it depends who you ask. Obviously, Mark Takano thought it's going to be huge for him in his competitive race. He thinks that people are, around here like Bill Clinton, like his policies, are going to identify with that. And he says, that's a type of policies that he wants to bring to Washington. Now, I did talk to a couple political scientists, however, and they said that while having someone like Bill Clinton come in could definitely fire up the base and get them energized and get them out there to the polls and working on behalf of the candidates, whether or not it's going to swing any independent or undecided or even Republican voters is really remains to be seen. So I guess we'll have to wait till Election Day to see whether it really did make a difference.
And what did Clinton actually say? Did he speak during the event, or?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
He did. He spoke for, I'm going to say, at least 20 minutes, half an hour, maybe a little more. He's known for being verbose, but they didn't go on like an hour or anything. But it was a very wide-ranging speech. He talked about everything but climate change and kind of mocked Republicans for denying that. He talked about the need for, spent a lot of time talking about students and student loans given his audience. But he also took time to make sure that he specifically singled out Ruiz and Takano for praise. He said, Raul Ruiz went to Haiti as a doctor to help out there, and he knows that people can die if they don't have health insurance. About Takano, he said, hey, this is a guy who's a school teacher. Politicians love to talk about education. Mark Takano has delivered results in the classroom. And he also praised Takano's community college trustee membership, saying, hey, we're going to need that type of expertise to get all these job training programs revamped so that people can actually fill these jobs we have.
And as far as the Republican stance on this appearance, they were already tweeting well before Clinton even took the stage about how they felt about the event and the endorsements and so forth. What was their takeaway from Bill Clinton's appearance?
Well, what I found kind of interesting is my colleague Ben Go talked to a spokesman for the National Republican Congressional Committee, and he didn't so much go after Bill Clinton saying that, hey, he was a lousy president and Takano Ruiz are going to be tied to this lousy president. Instead, he said, hey, Bill Clinton coming here is going to be good for us because it's going to show how left-wing and radical Takano and Ruiz are compared to Clinton. And so it's kind of interesting, maybe the Republicans sensing that Clinton is maybe more popular now than he was when he was president aren't so much going after him because he's seen as more of a moderate. Instead, are trying to paint the Democrats who are running as these leftists who are anything but moderate.
Interesting. Well, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us today to talk to us about his appearance. You can go online to pe.com and find Jeff's story as well as photos that we took at the event. Thank you again for watching another edition of Political Empire, and we'll see you tomorrow.